Hi, it's Chuck from Above the Basement, Boston Music and Conversation. This is the final installment of our Boston Children's Chorus episodes, and we continue the conversation because we were invited to talk with the founders, the sponsors, BCC alum, and current BCC kids before their Martin Luther King Jr. celebration at Symphony Hall in Boston. So here is our conversation with the fine people of the Boston Children's Chorus, recorded at Symphony Hall in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, so we were honored to have a brief conversation with BCC founder Hubie Jones.
Thank you so much for sitting with us. This is an amazing night, I don't have to tell you, and it's an amazing day.
Yeah, congratulations. Really, you must be really proud.
Very proud.
It's amazing to be here at Symphony Hall, first of all. The kids seem very excited about that.
Should be.
Jordan Hall is a fantastic place as well, but
sure.
This is really a special place for Boston.
You are the founder of BCC.
I'm the founder.
15 years ago.
Yep.
Was there an impetus that brought you to that decision? Or
I've been in Boston for 60 years. I'm a social worker.
Okay.
I'm not a musician. Yeah. I had tried various ways to bring young people together across the divides of race, ethnicity, and social class and achieve authentic social integration. I had tried through camping, I had tried through after-school programs, etc., with limited success. And about in 2001, I was beginning to do some reading about how the arts, and particularly music, was a way to really bring young people together across these divides. Yeah. I went to a City Year convention. I'm very involved with City Year. The Chicago Children's Choir sang at the opening ceremony. Very diverse group of high school students singing at a level of excellence that blew me away.
Really?
And I said, there it is. This looks like the model. So I went to Chicago, and I talked with all the principals, saying, how did you do this? What are you achieving? I said, I think we're going to try to do this in Boston. And I also said, if we do, would you be willing to come to Boston and sing in a concert we might put in place so we could show Boston what it is we were going to build? And they said, well, yeah, maybe like an MLK day, there's a three-day weekend, maybe an MLK day. So that was the genesis of the idea of having a Martin Luther King Jr. concert on the holiday.
But it was the genesis of BCC, too.
Our first 30 kids came in 2003, and this was 2004 January. So these 30 kids got on the stage for 2 songs, got off, and on came Chicago. And Chicago, Jordan Hall, blew Boston away. I got Jordan Hall filled with foundation people, with leaders, with parents.
Oh, my gosh.
And everybody said, okay, Hubie, we get it. This is what you're trying to build. I said, yeah, that's right. This is it.
You showed the product. You showed the goal.
That's right.
Boom.
And boom.
That's fantastic.
And so the rest is history. We got a big boost when in 2005, I went to Channel 5, WCVB, and said, would you be interested maybe in televising live our MLK concert? And they said, we're looking for something very different to celebrate the King holiday. So they said, we're going to do it. You raise the money from corporate sponsors to pay for some of the cost, and we'll do it. It was the first time there had ever been a children's choral concert on a commercial station in the U.S.
Really?
Never happened before. And then they said to us, this is so good, maybe we can syndicate it. I said, what do you mean? I don't even know what syndication is. I said, let me...
I'm a social worker.
That's right. So anyway, we ended up, it was syndicated to 80% of the television market in the United States. And so we were beginning to establish a national presence as well as a regional presence. And of course, the other thing we do that's very important is that our kids travel globally.
Right.
Our kids have been to Jordan, they've been to Cambodia, they've been to Vietnam, they've been to Japan, they've been to England, you name it. And the message to our kids is, you're global citizens. You have a responsibility to heal the world. When you go to college, make sure you try to take at least 1 semester abroad, if not 2. Because if you don't get outside of the United States and look back at this country through the eyes of other people, you won't know anything about what the United States is about. You won't have a clue.
And they got to taste it through BCC already.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That's fantastic. We want to thank you so much for sitting and talking with us.
Well, thanks for doing it.
Yes, congratulations on 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy your evening, sir.
Cheers.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Okay, so a few minutes later, current BCC chorus member Riley and BCC alum Audrey sat and spoke of their experience at the BCC. Welcome, you guys. Can you introduce yourselves? Go ahead. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Riley.
You're Riley? And where are you from, Riley?
Medford.
Medford? Okay, and you are?
Hi, I'm Audrey.
Audrey? And where are you from,
I'm
Audrey?
from Brockton, Mass.
From Brockton. All right. Are you both singing tonight?
Yes.
Okay, and is this how many times have you sung in this MLK performance?
Okay, so this is my 6th one.
Your 6th one?
Yes.
And how about you?
I haven't.
You have. This is your first time. Your first time and you're singing in Symphony Hall.
I have sang at Symphony Hall before.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow, look at that.
Really? Tell us about that. When was that?
I sang at the Cartoon Festival.
The Cartoon Festival?
Oh, cool. And
You're
this is your
seasoned
first MLK annual tribute concert.
Yes.
I see. But you've been at Symphony Hall before. Because
Wow.
because you're a singer, and that
Yeah.
makes sense.
What year are you in school?
So I'm in my 3rd year at Emory University.
Are you at Emory University?
Yes.
What's your major?
My major is economics and my minor is sociology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And are you singing there?
Yes, I am. I do a cappella, so that's a little bit different than chorus, but still singing.
So you're back here as an alum.
Yes.
That's fantastic. You're our first alum that we've met.
Great.
And what grade are you in?
6th.
And how long have you been singing in the BCC? Do you
This is
remember?
my 3rd year.
Your 3rd year.
So, Riley, let's talk for a second. I know you got some
Okay.
big stuff going on tonight, okay? But according to you, it's like the 2nd time, so
Yeah,
maybe
so
it's
it may not
whatever.
be as big a deal.
Okay. What's your favorite song you're going to sing tonight?
I don't know.
Okay. So, what's your second favorite song?
I'm only singing 2, and I don't know.
Okay. So what got you interested in going to Boston Children's Chorus? Like, was it friends, parents? Like, how did it happen?
At school, our music teacher had flyers because, well, she wasn't exactly involved, but she knew some people. And so she was handing out flyers, and I didn't get one because they only had a certain amount. So I copied it off somebody else's because I wanted to audition.
You happen to be the person that didn't get the flyer?
There were a couple kids, but I was smaller than the rest of them.
Huh.
And so they all got to her before I did, so I didn't get one.
So
Oh.
lesson to the BCC people who hand out flyers. Bring extra. Yeah, maybe.
But there were like 20 kids in our class, and she only had like 10 flyers, so only half of us got them.
This is your 3rd year.
Yes.
Do you recommend it? Is it?
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You got some friends at
Yeah.
BCC? Okay. Am I asking a lot of questions?
Yes.
Okay.
He's annoying that way.
Audrey, do you have a favorite?
We're only singing 2 songs, but my favorite right now is We Shall Overcome.
That's kind of
I'm
significant
singing
for
that
today.
song.
You're singing that song
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. When's the first time you ever heard that song?
Well, I remember hearing them sing We Shall Overcome, I think my first year in the Boston Children's Chorus, which was like 2007.
Yeah.
Even like growing up in church, I grew up hearing that song. Definitely this song brings back a lot of memories.
You started at BCC when, you were 12 or 13 years old, maybe?
Yeah, 12 years old.
Yeah, okay.
I
And
was only 1 then.
So how was when you were in the Boston Children's when you were 1? Like, did you you had like a word occasionally, or what'd you do?
I wasn't.
No.
you're still singing in school.
Yeah, still
And-
singing.
And how often do you come back to the BCC to?
Well, I can only really come back during like the Christmas holidays,
sure.
so like I'm here
You're
on
busy.
winter break. This is actually the first time since I've graduated that I've been able to come to an MLK concert.
Oh, that's pretty
so,
special. then.
Yeah, really excited to be here.
Really?
It's been a while.
Since you
and-
graduated.
Yeah, it was 2015, so I only missed 2 MLKs since then.
But
Being
you came back.
here
You
is-
came back for
Yep,
the big one
this
here at
year.
Symphony
Yep.
Hall.
Yeah, that's a good one to show up
Yeah.
for. Now, and what did you've always been a singer though?
Yes, I grew up singing church and Boston Children's Chorus when I started. I think I was 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was being in the BCC something that inspired you to keep on singing, or is it something that you knew
Yeah.
you were going to do anyways? Or
Being in BCC, I think, is something that I knew I was going to keep on doing, but I think what I really took out of BCC was a lot of the social justice initiatives that we talked about. So, for example, I'm interested in going to diversity and inclusion work, and I think being in BCC really influenced my decision in doing that. Besides doing music and singing, which was amazing, we talked about what we were singing, and a lot of the music that we sang, even outside of our MLK concert, had a theme or a message to it.
How does that relate to economics?
I was interested in social class studies. For me, like going into college, I was like, oh, economics makes sense so I can understand how the market works. And then sociology, which is my minor, just the study of people, so I thought it fit well together.
Hey Riley, good luck in 6th grade. You're gonna do this concert tonight. You're gonna crush it. Can I get another fist pump? Awesome.
Look, she's embarrassed. You're embarrassing.
This isn't on video. Okay. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
and good luck
you.
to you the rest of the year.
Thank you.
And good luck tonight. Have a great show.
Okay.
All right. We were then happy to sit with Joel and Sue Sherman, longtime board members and supporters of the Boston Children's Chorus.
We're here with Mr. and Mrs. Joel and Sue Sherman, longtime supporters of this amazing Boston Children's Chorus right here in the depths of Symphony Hall. They're going to be here for the first time. What does this day mean to you, the celebration of what we're here for?
I think it means two things. Number one, it is clearly a celebration of the life of Martin Luther King in a way that is very unique for this community. It's taking his words, his philosophy, and his vision and really addressing it in song. And the whole purpose of this chorus really is to take that vision and through the leadership of our founder, Hubie Jones, who's here this evening, the chorus has grown over the last 15 years, really to become in many, many ways an advocate, not only for fine music, but for social justice.
And the great thing about it is just it's not a bunch of grown-ups getting together and singing. It's the kids. That's the really, really special part of these kids are just amazing. And we've talked to a few of them, and they've really inspired us and had some great things to say.
We talked to the kids recently about how they have a bond together that they would never have had if they were in their own communities, and they talk about things and sing about things and have deep discussions that they don't have at home or they don't have at schools.
Well, I think that's the wonderful thing about the chorus is the fact that kids are brought together from various backgrounds and communities, and they have an opportunity to spend time together singing. But more than that is what you said, the idea that they can talk with one another in a very real setting.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're saying, oh, today we're going to do a Martin Luther King activity.
Right.
You know, here they go. They sing every week or whenever they practice together, and they really create bonds. I know I teach school, and there's a couple kids had already been in the chorus, graduated.
But they've also been a huge part of the fabric of Boston, going back not only for this MLK performance tonight, but with the Boston bombing, singing for President Obama. I mean, they've really been a core presence for Boston in a lot of the difficult times that we've been going through.
And I think also what has impressed me most over the years has been the fact that there are young people who begin at age 8 years old and go all the way up through high school who never would have the opportunity to meet one another, who end up singing side by side and creating these wonderful friendships that last well beyond their graduation from the chorus. And you have kids in the inner city singing side by side with kids who come out of the western suburbs, the northwestern suburbs, kids who go to private school, kids who go to public school. And the kids become, in many, many ways, advocates for not only the chorus, but for what we stand for, what Hubie's vision was.
We were also fortunate to talk with a few of the longtime sponsors of the BCC. First up is Meg Clough, who is on the board of the BCC and is Director and Vice President of Community Investments at Loomis Sales and Company in Boston.
Mm-hmm. Have you been involved with Boston Children's Chorus for a while? Or?
Yes, I'm on the board of the Boston Children's Chorus. I've been on the board for 8 years, and I've been involved with them for about 14. So this is their 15th anniversary.
Right.
And this is our first event at Symphony Hall. This is the premier spot in Boston, and here we are, and we have a full house. Yeah. So we've probably tripled the number of people who will be able to hear the children sing.
It's amazing. And there's about 450 kids in total, 13 choruses. Do you have any family members that have been in the chorus, or people that have?
No, I'm not related through family. I'm related because the company that I work for donates money, and we support the chorus because of its social justice mission.
And that's the connection that resonated with you
early
on?
Yes, I love the artistic excellence, which certainly exists, but the social justice mission is particularly relevant tonight. It's bringing people with all different colored skin and all different cultural and ethnic backgrounds together, not just once or twice, but many times throughout the week, throughout the years. They grow together and they learn to have no unconscious bias. And there have been studies to show that this actually works.
Yeah, we learned that from Ben and Anthony.
And from the kids
Right.
themselves, because we talked to the kids separately. They're in high school age, but very self-aware that if they hadn't been part of the BCC, they may never have met people from other backgrounds and different, wherever they're coming from.
Yeah, especially in this we don't
This
have to tell
city of
you-
ours that still remains the most segregated and most liberal city in the country. But our
liberal
children...
and segregated.
Liberal and segregated. But our suburban children don't get a lot of opportunity to know and understand what it's like to live in the city, and our city kids don't get a lot of opportunity to know and experience a suburb. Sometimes with the METCO program they do,
Right.
and that can still be very segregated, but Anthony has made a point of ensuring that all of these kids get to know each other, and
Not just through the music. And
exactly, through travel,
yes.
Right.
through
Even
discussion.
to Germany and other places we heard.
Yes.
And through discussion, right.
Through discussion about really difficult issues and a lot of current events. And so this like every wonderful thing wrapped up in one bundle that you can imagine. And then you have your concerts where you can just revel in what went on to create this music.
This is the real deal. They sound incredible. And so it's not just everything you said, but on top of that, it's
They're really
great
good.
quality music. And
Yes,
just
I have a lot of
message.
friends who are in the music industry, and it's taken me a long time to get some of them to come to concerts. And I'll tell you, they are blown away.
Are you the representative of Loomis for BCC, or are there others that are involved?
I co-chair our giving committee with our CEO, and together we make decisions. And our commitment to BCC has stood the test of time over the last 8 years. Has just gotten bigger. They've gotten more committed to the social justice mission, particularly in the last year when these issues are more into the forefront and when our president is using harsh words for some of the countries where our kids are coming from. So
It could not be more timely on not just the day of MLK honor himself, but last week, in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, last year, even.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Meg.
Oh, you're welcome.
Meg
It was
Clough.
a pleasure.
Next, we talk to Chairman and CEO of Eastern Bank, Bob Rivers. How long has Eastern Bank been involved with the BCC?
We've been involved with the BCC since really the very beginning when Hubie founded it. So really all 15 years.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And in MLK, this is the 15th celebration, 15th annual.
Indeed. Yeah, I started coming to the concerts about 10 years ago when I joined the bank and came back to town after being away for a little while. And it's really become part of my personal Martin Luther King Jr. Day tradition. I start off with the breakfast at the convention center and then end my day here at the concert.
Serious bookends, huh?
Excellent bookends, right? I mean, just inspirational. You start your day with an inspirational jolt at the breakfast, and then you end it on a high here with the Boston Children's Chorus.
And what is that actually? Tell us. We don't know about that, or I don't know about that.
So, Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Breakfast is held at the Convention Center in Boston.
Okay.
This year was its 48th year. It's actually the oldest celebration of its kind in America.
Really?
Here in Boston. So obviously there are many events, breakfasts and otherwise throughout the nation celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. King. But the very first one was organized here in Boston.
You know, we don't have to tell you about the Spotlight articles, and we just talked to Meg about this is one of the most liberal cities in the
Liberal segregated cities.
countries, but
Yeah,
segregated.
indeed.
The
Yeah.
irony is
Yeah.
that is interesting about that breakfast. I'm gonna spread the
That's
word
a
there.
big-
We are.
No, it's incredibly
It's
well
less than
attended.
here.
I mean, the main floor of the convention center is filled. It's got to be easily over 1,000 people. Very inspirational program.
So we have 2,000 packed house tonight at Symphony Hall.
And that's an achievement. That is really a tremendous
cool.
testimony to really the Boston Children's Chorus and all that they've accomplished for so many kids, but really the legacy of Hubie Jones. Hubie has been the father, the founder, the instigator of so many good things here in Boston. This is but one of them. And so really proud to know him and to know of what he's done for this city and to be here to celebrate with him tonight.
It's a long journey of 15 years. What have you noticed, if anything, that can come to mind as far as like from the growth that you've seen from the BCC in that period of time that you've
Just
been involved?
the continued evolution, and I'm fortunate that we have some good friends and neighbors from the town that I live in now whose boys have been involved with the children's chorus really right on the way through. So we've had some extra insight from the perspective of a parent and the perspective of a participant as a kid. And the thing that I've really noticed is the evolution of really the artistic imprint and development of the chorus over time. I got to know the chorus back when David Howes, who's now on our board, by the way, at Eastern, was the executive director here. And really now Anthony Trek King, who has been the long creative director, just an amazing artist.
The vision he has for the kids is just tremendous, and he, to the core, yes, is an artist, and he's an educator. The kids come in and they talk about issues and things in society that they may not talk about at home, or they may not talk about at school.
No doubt. And you can see it in the performances. I mean, the kids are really connected with the music, with the performance. You know that they're very involved in the shaping of it, obviously, as well as the execution of it. But you can really feel it in terms of how they sing, how they perform when you're here at the concert.
You get goosebumps in the performances that we've heard.
Oh, it's incredible.
And to your point, it's the artistic portion of it. These kids are good.
Yes, they
They're
are.
really good.
Yeah.
These kids rock the house. I mean,
They
just
really
amazing.
do. We've actually had them come and perform at a number of our events at the bank. They've performed at our annual meeting, for example, to really sort of help set the tone and the mood and bring another important element to what, it's a bank. So what could be an otherwise sometimes boring program.
Sure.
Well, you bring up a great point, because no matter what company or organization you work in, it becomes a culture where you come to work, you do your thing, you leave, and you don't have that perspective all the time that there's a connection to the greater good there. And the fact that you guys have them perform is great.
Boston Children's Chorus is just so aligned with our mission of equal opportunity to so many communities that are underrepresented, not as well engaged as they should be, not getting the opportunities they should get. And, you see what so many of these kids benefit from, regardless of really their background, their ethnicity, their socioeconomic background. What they benefit from in terms of engaging with each other really expands the realm of opportunity for them.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. Yeah.
No, thanks for the opportunity. It's Boston Children's Chorus is one of the real jewels of Boston, so I'm really privileged here to spend a few minutes to talk about it.
Finally, we sat with Amber and BCC alumni Marlon and Sydney, literally about 10 minutes before they went on to perform in front of a sold-out house. We have what I'm guessing is alumni and someone who's currently in the Boston Children's Chorus. Would you guys mind introducing yourself? Could you introduce yourself and say where you're from?
I'm Sydney, and I live in JP.
Jamaica Plain?
Yep.
Yep.
My name is Amber. I graduated BCC in 2014, and I grew up in Chelsea, Massachusetts.
In Chelsea?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Marlon. I also graduated in 2014, and I grew up in Brockton.
So far, we have not had, no one's been from the same town.
That's true.
That's what the beauty of
That's
BCC. Really.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's BCC right there. I'm so intrigued with the alumni aspect of BCC, because it's not a school, but it is a school. Does it feel like you graduate in a sense when you're done, or what does it feel like when you finish?
It was really sad because I feel like BCC was like a family to me, so it felt like I was leaving a part of me somewhere else. I started my career in college, and it was great, and I met new people there, but it wasn't the same type of relationship like the ones I had with folks in BCC, just because of the amount of time we spend in rehearsal and on retreat and going on tour. It's just a different type of relationship that you form, not only as a musician, but as like a citizen and as a person, and that's not something that everyone understands unless they were in the organization.
Well, that brings us to Sydney, because Sydney, you're in it, right?
I am.
And what year is this for you?
This is my 5th year.
5th. You're right in the middle.
Yeah, I am.
Wow. And what is it like to see some of the
It's just-
the graduates come back?
It's
Is it
cool because I didn't think that they would get a chance to come back till later on, so it's nice to get to see them, get to come back and like see all their friends and everything.
Do you have a favorite song you're doing tonight?
I never have a favorite because they're all really good.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well
What's your
said.
least favorite? No.
I have one.
Dr. MLK, this is the day that we all honor him.
Yep.
And you sing about a lot of amazing things that he stands for and that his legacy taught all of us, or hopefully continues to teach us. What are some of the thoughts that come across while you're either singing or not singing as it connects to Martin Luther King Jr.?
That's a tough question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a tough question.
What comes through your mind?
But it's funny because we were actually talking about this as alumni yesterday after rehearsal. Some of us stuck around to continue doing some rehearsing just to make sure that there was any trouble spots, we'd fix them, and we just got into this discussion about what if Martin Luther King were still alive and he were able to see us in this performance and be in the audience like Hubie Jones is in the audience. I remember being back in BCC. And every time we did the MLK concert, the discussion we'd have before going into it about the music, it's really humbling. It's an honor to be a part of an organization that takes social change and takes unity in a city as seriously as BCC does. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that I wouldn't be the person I am today if it weren't for BCC. It raised me. So when I think about what Martin Luther King's message is and what it means to us as an organization and me as a person, it's really overwhelming. There really are no words for just how proud I am to be a part of this organization and how far I know we have to go, but how far I know BCC as an organization is taking Boston in that direction to show that children from all over, all the shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, can come together, united through music, and look past the things that make us different and the things that the adults are fighting over. Being in it, I didn't really see that until graduation. Looking back on it and seeing just how powerful it was because I had to go into the adult world.
Now, you both still singing once you left? You both continuing to sing?
I thought I was going to end up studying music, but I didn't, so I'm going into education now, but I still sing and love music as much as I did before.
Yeah, what are you doing in education, or what do you want to do?
I think I want to be a teacher, and so I've actually accepted a teaching fellow position here in Boston, so
Nice.
I'll be working with younger kids. And I'm thinking about kind of incorporating art and social justice and doing something along those lines because that's what I did my whole life with BCC.
Yeah.
And so if I can do that in some way with younger kids, that would be ideal.
Fantastic. And what are you doing now?
So I'm at WPI, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. I'm studying mechanical engineering with a biomechanical concentration. The hope is that I end up working with prosthetics. I want to find a job somewhere in Boston, to stay close to home, but I'm also very much considering the option of Engineers Without Borders because just like our founder, Hubie Jones, always says, you have to be a global citizen and you can't just stay in your own backyard. Right. So the touring opportunity really gave all of us a real hunger for travel. So in that trip we took to Vietnam, we visited an orphanage for children who had either been orphaned by or injured by unexploded landmines. Yeah. So we met a lot of kids that were, missing limbs, but they were still living a full life. And so the need is very real, for prosthetics for anybody. So that's something that can take me around the world. And I mean, I've always been singing, so that's going to keep on going.
Right.
Okay, Sydney, so we got some serious songs that are about to happen right now, okay? It's starting in a few minutes. I'm going to shut up now in a second, don't worry. But you're excited, right?
I am.
You look excited.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts about the actual concert tonight? Or
I've never participated in one before because
Yeah.
it used to always be the older kids, so it's really exciting for all of us. And I'm just really excited because Martin Luther King's always been one of my heroes because of what he did for kids like me and all kids around the world, everywhere. So I'm just really excited to kind of get out there and show people what
We're excited to hear you guys sing tonight. We heard the rehearsal a little bit,
Yeah.
but this is the real deal. And this
Yeah,
is
it
in
is.
Symphony Hall.
Yep.
And you're going to have a full crowd.
Yeah.
And they're all going to love you guys.
Because we
And,
did something like this last year, actually, at Symphony Hall. Because I used to be in DAT before I got into DI.
Okay.
So we did another concert here, but we've never done a Martin Luther King concert.
Wow. We're really excited. And congratulations to all of you.
Thank
you
you.
guys
Thank you.
you guys impressed the heck out of us, I tell you.
Marlon, Amber,
Yes.
and Sydney.
Let's get a selfie.
Let's do it.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thanks.
not?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us.
So after our conversations, we went into the hall to watch the performance. It was amazing and so well done. We would like to congratulate all the singers, Ben Hires, Anthony Tresick King, and everyone at the BCC for such a wonderful evening. And a very special thanks to Hubie Jones, Joel and Sue Sherman, Meg Clough, and Bob Rivers for their insight and support for the great work being done at the BCC. To learn more about the Boston Children's Chorus and their mission, go to bostonchildrenschorus.org. Go to abovethebasement.com where you can sign up for our newsletter, listen and subscribe to our podcast, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and look at all the nice pictures we post on Instagram. We are everywhere. On behalf of Ronnie and myself, thanks for listening. Tell your friends, and remember, Boston music, like its history, is unique.